So the Karma Seal, a godly power given by the Otsutsuki themselves. They have a very unique pattern when placed on a vessel holder, which increases their speed and power immensely. After we've seen Kawaki go absolutely apeshit with the Karma Seal back in Boruto episode 189, and Boruto awakening his Karma Seal against Kashin Koji to save his sensei, it has become a very important power-up in the series. The Karma Seal has become a very prevalent power for main characters such as Boruto, Kawaki, Jigen, and in the recent chapters of the Boruto manga with Code. The power is gained through a couple of ways. First, through the killing of an Otsutsuki. We saw this in Boruto episode 65 when Boruto took out Momoshiki with the giant Rasengan from Naruto, killing Momoshiki in the process. This allowed Momoshiki to implant the Karma Seal onto Boruto's body just before he died. He even warned that Boruto is going to lose it all in the future through his own prophecy. Another way to be granted the Karma Seal is by experimentation. We saw this with the Kara organization with Jigen trafficking kids to be tested for the Karma Seal. However, the problem is that a lot of these kids died in the process of being given the Karma Seal. The Karma Seal isn't something that anyone can have, so it is very unlikely to actually gain a perfect vessel, which explains why Jigen and the rest of the Kara organization struggled to even find a perfect vessel. This is where they found Kawaki, one of the last children to be tested for the mark, where it was actually found that he was a perfect vessel to hold the Karma Seal. Obviously, these vessels have an Otsutsuki with them. When it comes to Boruto, the Otsutsuki that gave him the Karma Seal is Momoshiki, while the Otsutsuki that is living inside of Kawaki with the Karma Seal is Ishiki. So just how does the Karma Seal work in the first place? With this power up, your speed and strength are increased tremendously to the point where it becomes impossible for your average shinobi to fight against. Think of like Stage Mode or even Orochimaru's curse marks when it was on Sasuke and the rest of the Sound 4. It is a very big power up when it comes to fighting. We saw this when Kawaki was fighting Garo, an outer member of Kara. Kawaki somewhat struggled against Garo while in base form due to him being exhausted at the time, so Garo was able to take down Kawaki pretty easily. However, once Kawaki tapped into his Karma Seal, he effortlessly bodies Garo with almost no difficulty at all. We also saw this with Boruto as well when he was sparring with Naruto back in Boruto chapter 29. Boruto activated his Karma Seal against Naruto, which Naruto noticed the power and speed difference while sparring with him. He also saw that the Karma Seal amps the power of jutsus as well, as Boruto was able to use his Thunderclap Arrow Jutsu with the use of the Karma Seal, which actually took out one of Naruto's shadow clones. We see this in the Boro fight when both Boruto and Kawaki used their karmas to amp Boruto's Rasengan, which took out a large portion of Boro's body. There are a couple of abilities that the Karma Seal does indeed grant, such as the ability to absorb jutsu. There is a common misconception, however, which is that the Karma Seal can absorb all ninjutsu, which is actually false. The Karma Seal only allows the ability to absorb chakra-based ninjutsu. It can't actually absorb physical matter jutsus. We saw this in Boruto chapter 40 when Kawaki couldn't absorb Boro's mist virus. This is because a jutsu like that contains physical matter that still exists. For example, a jutsu that is used from a river or ocean that contains water cannot be absorbed since it came from a physical matter and is not chakra derived. Think of Sasuke's Kirin, for example. It isn't chakra based and it comes from a physical matter such as lightning from the sky. We also saw this with Kashin Koji when he used pure hellfire against Jigen, which caused Jigen to die in the process because he couldn't absorb that jutsu. Another ability that the Karma Seal grants is the ability to use space-time ninjutsu. We saw this when both Boruto and Kawaki used their karmas in unison to create a portal while rescuing Naruto, and when Boruto teleported Ishiki out of the village. Boruto hasn't mastered this ability yet, as he is not sure if he can do it consistently, so this ability is still in the works. So what are the drawbacks of the Karma Seal? Well, the Karma Seal is like a download file onto a vessel's body. Once the Karma Seal is implanted onto a body, the Otsutsuki data begins to download onto its host. This is like a backup file in case an Otsutsuki dies in battle or whenever. They will convert themselves into data and replicate themselves onto a host's body, and this quote-unquote download file will download or extract onto its host's body over time until the data is fully extracted, and once the download is complete, the Otsutsuki will take over the host's body, killing the vessel in the process. Also, it is still possible for an Otsutsuki to reincarnate through a dead body, as we did see this when Ishiki revived himself through Jigen's burnt corpse. This is because as long as a body contains the Karma Seal, it is still functionable for an Otsutsuki to reincarnate. However, once an Otsutsuki reincarnates through its host body, all the other Karma Seals on the other vessels for that same Otsutsuki are erased. We saw this when Ishiki reincarnated through Jigen's body, which erased Kawaki's Karma Seal from his own body. And there is also one thing that I forgot to mention, which is the V2 form, or the second stage of the Karma Seal. So far we have seen Boruto, Kawaki, and Ishiki go into this form so far. From what we know, there is another stage of the Karma Seal. For example, when Boruto goes into his Boroshiki form, his chakra levels are low to almost zero, which allows Momoshiki to take over his body. However, at that point, Momoshiki cannot absorb any sorts of chakra in fear of Boruto waking up and taking control over his body again. We see this in Boruto chapter 54. After Momoshiki absorbed Kawaki's fire jutsu, Boruto took back control over his body. With Jigen, he was able to access this form after absorbing 10 Tails chakra after his beatdown on Naruto and Sasuke. With Kawaki on the other hand, it was completely different. He was able to access this form through full rage on Jigen through his own willpower. And this is interesting because we have never seen this before. This is the first time we did see this horned form from anybody in the series, and the fact that he was able to access this form through his own consciousness, which shows you that he has somewhat of control over this form. And in this form, your speed and strength are increased even more. We saw this with Jigen when he went into his V2 form, absolutely shit stomping both Naruto and Sasuke. It even got to the point where Jigen kicked both Naruto and Sasuke out of their Kurama and Susanoo avatars. With Borushiki, he was able to destroy Boru with straight taijutsu, kicking the limbs of his body and then amplifying his Rasengan after absorbing some of Naruto's chakra. So yeah, the V2 state is nothing to play with, and we haven't seen Kawaki use this form yet, so I'm hoping we get to see Kawaki use it once he gets his Karma Seal in the future, because we do know that in episode 1 of the Boruto anime, or in chapter 1 of the Boruto manga, Kawaki gets another Karma Seal somehow, some way, so he'll probably be able to access this form in the future. And in this V2 form, the Otsutsuki takes over the host body and is able to use their abilities for a temporary amount of time. This is only due to how much the Karma Seal has extracted onto one's body. Boruto's Karma Seal has extracted to about 80%, and so has Kawaki despite him losing the Karma Seal in the process. The Karma Seal also does give its user the ability to heal. We saw this when Kashin Koji noticed that Boruto's hand healed after sparring with Kawaki. We also saw this when Borushiki was fighting both Kawaki and Sasuke, and he was able to heal Boruto's broken arm after Ishiki broke Boruto's arm back in Boruto chapter 51. And there also seems some sort of resonance between the Karma Seal users, as we see in the Garo fight when Kawaki awakened his Karma Seal, Boruto also awakened his karma at the same time. In training, Kawaki was able to give Boruto the ability to use it every time he activates his karma around Boruto. Eventually, Boruto was able to use it on his own through training, and he got stronger with it. At this point in the story, both him and Kawaki are 80% Otsutsuki-fied from the karma extraction process. It definitely will be interesting, especially with Code established as the main threat of the series now. Now with Code, he has a white Karma Seal. Unlike the other Karma holders, this white Karma Seal does not require a vessel. It can be given to anyone without the fear of an Otsutsuki taking over their body, and from what it looks like, it has the same properties as the regular Karma Seal. But there will definitely be some more information about this white karma as more chapters drop in the Boruto manga. And of course, with this Karma Seal, this is a way of how Otsutsuki can stay immortal forever. Despite killing an Otsutsuki, it is still very possible that they can pass down a Karma Seal to the person that they have been killed by, and this is how they can reincarnate in the future. And I do want to say, not every Otsutsuki can give off the Karma Seal. If you have been watching the Boruto anime back in the time travel arc around Boruto episode 135, Urashiki was an Otsutsuki and he was killed by Naruto, Boruto, Jiraiya, and Sasuke, but he did not give off a Karma Seal. And this is because Urashiki, he is not a high-ranking Otsutsuki, he is only a scout. So I'm thinking at this point the only way to get a Karma Seal is from the high-ranking Otsutsukis. I don't think every Otsutsuki member can give a Karma Seal, because if that was the case, Urashiki definitely would have given his Karma Seal to Boruto or Naruto, because those were the two who actually killed off Urashiki in the process. So only high-ranking Otsutsuki such as Momoshiki, Ishiki, and even people like Kaguya, they can give off Karma Seals because these are high-ranking Otsutsukis in the Otsutsuki clan. And also, when you have a Karma Seal holder, you can actually feed some of these vessels to the Ten-Tails, which can actually harvest a chakra fruit thousands of years later. By eating this chakra fruit, your power increases greatly, and we do know that Code, his current goal, of course, after getting his revenge on Ishiki, he is going to feed either Boruto or Kawaki to the Ten-Tails so he can gain this chakra fruit and get even stronger. And that is what's going to happen in the future of the Boruto manga, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen, because obviously with these Otsutsukis, we've only seen a couple so far in the Boruto series. I'm definitely thinking we're going to get some more in the future, so let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Just how broken do you think the Karma Seal is? And I have a question for you guys. Would you rather be a vessel or a Jinchuriki? Let me know what would you be in the comment section below. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.